Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our Durham County Board of Commissioners regular session. It is Monday, March 11th at 7 p.m. I will get us started this meeting with the public charge. The Board of Commissioners asks its members and citizens to conduct themselves in a respectful, courteous manner, both with the board and fellow citizens. At any time, should any member of the board or any citizen fail to observe this public charge, the chair will ask the offending person to leave the meeting until that individual regains personal control. Should decorum fail to be restored, the chair will recess the meeting until such a time that a genuine commitment to the public charge is observed. And also something new that will be starting this meeting, I wanted us to start having a land acknowledgement at the beginning of our meetings. So I'll start with that. So land acknowledgement, as we convene for the Durham County Commissioners meeting, it's crucial to recognize the painful truth of history. We stand on the stolen ancestral lands of the Catawba, Eno, Occaneechi, Shakori, and Tuscarora peoples, whose deep connection to this land predates our arrival. We acknowledge with humility the unjust displacement and violence that occurred, leading to the dispossession of Indigenous peoples from their homelands. Their resilience in the face of such adversity is a testament to their strength and spirit. May we humbly honor the ancestors and elders of these nations, both past and present, by committing ourselves to fostering understanding, healing, and justice for all who inhabit this land. Let us walk forward together with open hearts, acknowledging the past and embracing a future guided by compassion, respect, and unity. As a courtesy to others, please turn off your cell phones during this meeting. And we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I will ask Commissioner Carter to lead us. Thank you, Commissioner Carter. Are there any agenda adjustments from the board? Seeing none, I will move us over to our clerk for announcements.
Good evening, everyone. I will read the announcements published in tonight's agenda. Durham County Memorial Stadium. For sports enthusiasts, the Durham County Memorial Stadium is hosting a college lacrosse game between Skidmore College and Sewanee Lacrosse on March 13th from 4 to 7:30 p.m. with the doors opening at 4 p.m. Following closely, the Cross Out Cancer Lacrosse event takes place on March 16th, offering a full day of activities from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. The Durham County Library invites residents to explore its diverse programs and services. Highlights include the Sing and Sign Story Time with Jess Kelly, focusing on American Sign Language through songs, rhymes, and stories for little ones and their caregivers. Sessions are held every Wednesday in March, and registration is required. The library is also hosting a special Art in Bloom event in collaboration with the North Carolina Museum of Art, featuring free flowers, a chance to win exhibit tickets, and more. This event is actually past. It was March 9th from 10 till 2. Registration for Durham 4-H summer camps is now open. June through August, half day, full day, and overnight camps. Themes such as woodworking, sewing, cooking, and more must be enrolled in a 4-H online before enrolling. Scholarships are also available. More information can be found via the link on the website. Get vaccinated at BOCC Public Health. Be safe and keep your family safe by getting your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot, and pick up free COVID-19 tests at the Durham County Department of Public Health located at 414 East Main Street. COVID vaccines are available by appointment only, while flu shots can be appointment or walk-in schedule. You can schedule your COVID vaccines by calling 919-560-7658 and schedule your flu shots at 560-7608. For more information, you can visit the BOCC Public Health site. Watch In Touch with Durham County. Did you know that the county's Public Information Office produces a monthly show to update residents on services and programs? In this month's In Touch with Durham County show, guests Marcus Manning, Executive Director of the Durham Sports Commission, and Durham Cooperative Extension Director Donna Rewalt join us for our March 2024 edition. On the first segment of the show, Marcus discusses the fairly new agency established to create economic and social impact by leading the community's efforts to attract, support, and promote youth, amateur, collegiate, and professional sporting and recreational events. In our second segment, Donna shares how her agency is going beyond its original traditional areas of focus. We hope that you can enjoy the show and you can watch it via YouTube. Alert Durham. Sign up today. Durham County wants to keep its residents informed and safe in case of an emergency. Sign up for Alert Durham to receive notifications about severe weather, unexpected road closures, missing persons, and evacuations of buildings or neighborhoods. To sign up for Alert Durham, visit alertdurham.com. That concludes the announcements published in tonight's agenda.
Thank you, Clerk Wallace. Any announcements from the board? Vice Chair Burns.
Yes, thankful so much to our diligent staff. Last week during our leadership meeting, we did discuss the possibility of a Durham County Women's Awards. Where's Shannon? I'm looking. I know she's here. Hey, friend. How you doing? And if Alexandra helped you with coming up the form, so I also want to thank her. So we were able to come up with, and it will launch this week and run for a week. We will be pushing this one online. The Elna Spalding Leadership Awards from this board. As a board of women, we have never given out awards to women. It's time, and as you all can tell, post last Tuesday, this will be the last time that we will have an all-women board on March. So we want to make sure that we commemorate that appropriately, as we should have been doing for the past couple of years. So that application will open. Anybody actually know who Elna Spalding is? Alice, you don't get the answer, but I will give this short tidbit just so folks know who she is and who she was. She ran for Durham County Board of Commissioners and was actually the first African American woman to be on the Durham Board of County Commissioners from 1974 to 1984. And we commemorate this in her name, so the application will be open. It will be online for approximately a week. Look forward to working in conjunction with the Women's Commission here in Durham. And that is my only announcement. It will launch at the close of this meeting. Thank you.
I have one quick announcement. We will have a proclamation about today being the first day of Ramadan, but I also wanted to invite the broader community to a Ramadan Iftar event on March 27th that I'll be hosting for the entire Durham community. It's going to be free and open to the public. It'll be at the Zakat Foundation, which is off of Revere Road. So I will send that to Monica so she can include it on the website. So March 27th at 6:45 p.m. Please come and join us in breaking fast and celebrating this holy month. Okay, there's no other announcements. Then I will move us to our other business, which is the swearing in of our interim county attorney, Curtis Massey. Durham Oath, Interim Durham County Attorney. I, Curtis Massey, solemnly and sincerely swear or affirm
I, Curtis Massey, solemnly and swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and the constitutional powers and authorities are or may be for the government thereof,
that I will bear, that I will bear, that I will be faithful and bear, going back to the military oath, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina, constitutional powers and authorities are or may be established for the government thereof,
and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with
that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me God.
I, Curtis Matthews, solemnly swear that I will well and serve the state of North Carolina in the office
I, Curtis Massey, do solemnly swear that I will well and truly serve the state of North Carolina in the office of the County Attorney for the County of Durham.
I will, in the execution of office, endeavor to have fairly and impartially administered, so according to the best of my knowledge.
I will, in the execution of my office, endeavor to have the criminal laws fairly and impartially administered, as far as in me lies, according to the best of my knowledge and ability, so help me. Thank you.
Curtis, did you want to make?
Oh, actually, I was about to ask if resolutions needed to stay here or come back with you. I won't say much. I know that's a shock to some of you. I just want to thank the board for this interim appointment while you search for a permanent county attorney. I appreciate you placing your faith in me, and I'll do my best to perform these duties and honor that faith. Thank you.
You have any comments from the board? Vice Chair Burns, then Commissioner Jacob.
Just walking around. See, look, already at the job, working dutifully, not taking a seat. Thank you so much, Mr. Attorney, for even stepping up as we go through this transition. I can remember there would be many times that, we would send you something and you're like, well, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if we can do this. And I used to think, why in the world is he trying to hold us back from doing X, Y, and Z? But then I just realized that you were trying to be really thorough, because your thoroughness was the thing that was going to protect us and protect us from ourselves many days, but also protect this county. So I'm thankful that, in my first year office, when we were pushing through not just a Crown Act, because many people did resolutions, we were able to put you in a position and put ourselves in this county in a posture where not only is it a no-no here, there are consequences to discriminating against hair like mine. And you ushered that through from the work you did with us on ASPCA and things in closed session that I cannot discuss. You have been a stalwart. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you for taking the time and being as thorough as you are. And I look forward to that thoroughness as we go throughout the year. And we push you to do other things that we probably shouldn't be asking you to do, but are nonetheless thankful that you help us carry out.
Congratulations, Curtis, and thank you so much for stepping up and serving Durham County government. Rising to the occasion, maybe not what you wanted to do if you had your choice, but you did not hesitate to step in and support all of us through this transition. So I'm really grateful to you. I want to acknowledge your family who's here, who I know was very proud of you. And I also want to acknowledge your outstanding work. I got to work very closely with you during COVID. Curtis helped really write all of the stay-at-home orders and the safer-at-home orders and the face covering orders. And these were things that, we were all navigating together and nobody had ever done before. So coming up with new rules to things in a very challenging time. And Curtis, you were always accessible, reliable, thorough, calm, and with attention to detail. So you really have helped all of us in many, many ways. And thank you so much again. Really appreciate it.
Commissioner Howerton?
I want to add my thank yous as well, Curtis. And as I think back, all the things that you did, that discrimination ordinance that we did was just major, major. You did that. So thank you for all the things that you did and the things that you are going to. Thank you for stepping in the space.
I'll just pile on briefly and say it's clear to me that over the past 8 years, when there's a complicated legal matter that needs to be solved, it seems to have often landed in your lap, Curtis, and that is one reason we're seeking your help here. We needed you, and thank you for being willing to help us during this interim time. We're very grateful.
Add on to my thanks for stepping up and not hesitating to step up in this moment and supporting Durham County and the way that you've taken this initiative of like the long-term plan for Durham County of, not just you in this role, but how can Durham County thrive and be successful within the attorney's office beyond you in this role, which I've been really appreciative of. Some of your accomplishments have already been mentioned around the Crown Act, the non-discrimination ordinance, the neuter, vaccinate, and release, which I know you have told us that you had a lot more hair before that. But thank you for the way that you approached all of those was through a community lens and bringing the different voices to the table, which you don't really typically think of an attorney of going that extra mile. So I appreciate that you have done that. And I look forward to all the ways that we're going to test you in this new capacity.
Well, thank you, all of you. I appreciate your kind words, your memories of me, and I'll do my best.
Move us now to our ceremonial items. We have a resolution for Women's History Month that Commissioner Jacobs will read.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Durham Board of County Commissioners Resolution, Women's History Month 2024. Whereas Women's History Month, the celebration of women and their contributions to history, culture, and society, has been observed annually in the month of March in the United States since 1987. And whereas during Women's History Month, the rich history of women, girls, and women identifying individuals of all races, ethnicities, cultures, and backgrounds are celebrated. And whereas the true history of the United States reveals generations of trailblazing women leaders whose courage, strength, and vision have built and transformed our country. And whereas women in the United States have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and many other national and international movements. And whereas, despite the undeniable impact women have made in history, significant work remains to ensure full equality and access for women and girls everywhere. And whereas every woman has a story to tell and gifts to share with the world. And whereas additional attention is given to women during Women's History Month, it is important to understand every month that countless women, girls, and women-identifying individuals have been undervalued and inadequately recognized for their contributions to our community, our nation, and our world. And whereas women and their allies will continue to work to ensure women are never silenced and their stories of achievement on behalf of the Durham County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim March 2024 Women's History Month in Durham County, North Carolina, and call upon all citizens to observe and celebrate the successes of women and mark this month with appropriate observations honoring endless possibilities of women and girls everywhere. This, the 11th day of March, 2024, on behalf of all of our board, and if I could add a whereas, we are the historic all women Board of County Commissioners here in Durham County with our historic first female county manager.
My name is Cassandra Kiger, and I just want to say on behalf of all of Durham County employees, and especially from the Equitable Wellbeing team, we thank you so much for honoring and celebrating this month. We are deeply grateful to have an amazing group of women to look up to and to be a space in our community, in our state, in our nation where we can show what happens when we empower women around us and we support each other so that we can all lead and grow and thrive together. We have been working really hard to make sure that all facets of Durham County community members are honored and recognized throughout the year. And so this month, we've taken special efforts to make sure we have engagement activities, history, ways to learn, grow, and do together so that everyone can participate in learning how to lift up ourselves, lift up those around us, and be allies to women everywhere. We had the great honor this past week of being able to share in sort of a fireside chat where we had nearly 70 DECO employees tune in and listen to our very own Dr. Sowell, Shannon Trapp, and many more from our staff who were able to talk to us about how to be women in government, how to support and lead each other in women in government, and how to have men identifying folks be good supportive allies and sponsors and mentors towards women in government. So thank you for this, for honoring and recognizing this, and we thank you for being excellent female leaders for us to look up.
Thank you. Back to the board, see if anyone has comments. With that, we'll move to our next proclamation for the 50th Annual Durham Crop Hunger Walk, and Commissioner Howerton will be reading this one. Your microphone. Sorry.
Durham Board of County Commissioners proclamation, Durham Crop Hunger Walk 2024. Whereas the Durham Crop Hunger Walk will be held on March 24th, 2024. And whereas it is the oldest fundraising walk in Durham County, and whereas the Durham Crop Hunger Walk has raised more than $5.2 million for hunger relief since the inception of the walk, including the 25%, $1.4 million that has gone to hunger fighting agencies in Durham, and whereas the 2023 Durham Crop Hunger Walk was the second largest walk of approximately 800 walks in the nation, and whereas we applaud the citizens of Durham County for their compassion and working together to help relieve hunger both globally and locally. Now, therefore, I, Netta Alam, Chair of the Board, and on behalf of the Durham Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim March 24th, 2024 as Durham Crop Hunger Walk Day in Durham County, North Carolina. This 11th day of March 2024. Board of County Commissioners.
Commissioner Howerton, I know we have Miss Alice Sharp here.
Alice.
Yeah.
Did a crop walk to stand. We have Jenny Schaefer, Bob Newland, who is our treasurer, and passing out your shirts is Annette Reed, who is with Meals on Wheels. And I just want to reiterate again how proud we are of our community. Of all the cities in this country, Durham is number 2, having raised over $5 million.
That's right.
And that can only be done with the support of Durham County residents. So again, we want to say thank you, but also come out on March 24th on Sunday for the 50th annual crop walk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sharp. Back to comments, Vice Chair Burns.
I also want to hats off to Ms. Sharp. Now, y'all saw they gave us these T-shirts, right? But if you go to the website, the suggested donation is $5. I'll be making my donation. Please also make your donations. And if you say, I don't have the link, just Google 2024 Crop Walk. It's really easy. Oh, I'm sorry. Alex, you want to say something real quick? I'm almost done, but go ahead.
Really quickly, thank you for reminding me.
I got you.
Thank you. That shirt, as have been our last shirts for the last couple of years, was designed by a young man at Durham, North Carolina Central University's art department.
Amen.
St. Cloud McDowell.
That, yes, and it's, yes, because his name is right here. So yeah, you're right. It is St. McDowell. So that is on, it's on a T-shirt. So that's always nice to have somebody from, from NCCU. I also want to throw out there, I hate that Sarah Oxendine, Mary Oxendine, excuse me, is not here. As you all know, she used to be our food insecurity coordinator. The reason why I throw that out, I'm just especially proud of the fact that she took some time to help us build out our food insecurity network. You know, we had families getting on buses going across town to find a food bank when there was one adjacent to them that they just didn't know about. So one of the things I'm proud of, I always participate with my church in the crop walk. And it is an awesome opportunity to find out about how many folks are actually doing work. Some churches do 6,000 boxes a week. Some churches do 600 a week. Some do 60. But there's a lot of really giving people in the community and the chance to kind of sort of fellowship, commune, and walk with them and find out about what they're doing is always helpful, especially when we as public servants sitting up here and you as public servants sitting out there can actually send people to find some help. So don't just think of it as a walk to walk off the carbs. Also think of it as an opportunity to fellowship and find out about how we can help other people in this community who are really struggling with hunger and we don't think about. So thank you. Right.
Thank you, Vice Chair Burns. Commissioner Howerton, then Carter.
I just want to thank Alice and her team for putting this together. I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of organization, and I just want to say thank you for all the work you've done to make this happen, and consistently, all of your whole team, because one person never makes anything happen. It takes a team. And I've heard you over and over again talk about it. Thank you to the team.
Yes, I too wanted to thank Alice and Jenny Schaefer, who I've known for a long time, and Annette and all the work that you're doing with Meals on Wheels, and the kind gentleman beside Jenny, whose name I don't remember, Bob. Thank you so much for being here tonight, representing this crop walk. It's such a fun event, full of energy. Full of giving, compassionate people in Durham who care about food security as we do. It's one of our top priorities. And we really appreciate all the work that goes on in the community by individual volunteers and others who are organizing events like this to help combat hunger in our community and across this whole nation. Thank you so much.
Jacob.
Yeah, thank you to all of you to leading the charge, because it does take leadership to keep this event going in the community. I know various people have done this over time, and it is so important. I was at the Durham Congregations and Actions annual banquet where I saw you distribute the local contributions to many, many organizations here in Durham. And that's one of the magic things about the crop walk is that it supports local food security organizations, but also some of the money goes to help people all over the world. I don't want to make you get up again, Alice, but just to reiterate that people can go to the website not only to sign up, but also to contribute to other teams. For instance, I knew I was going to be away that weekend, and I've already contributed to one of the teams. There are different ways to participate in that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sharp, and your amazing team for keeping this work going and providing so much support to Durham County residents and making sure that we don't forget that hunger is real and that all of our residents here and abroad need support. That brings us to our final proclamation, which is the recognition of the Ramadan 2024 proclamation signed by Governor Cooper. And I also want to let folks know, before the start of Ramadan, I actually baked some cookies, and they are out in the hallway. They do have pistachios. If anyone has allergies, please avoid them. But please help yourself to some cookies. State of North Carolina, Roy Cooper, Governor. Ramadan 2024. By the Governor of the State of North Carolina, a proclamation. Whereas Islam is the second largest religion in the world, with 1.9 billion devotees worldwide and about 3.5 million in the United States, as well as the fastest growing demographic in the United States. And whereas Muslim Americans are one of the most racially diverse groups in the U.S., comprising African Americans, Asians, Arabs, and Caucasians, and whereas North Carolina is home to over 130,000 Muslims and continuously growing, and whereas Islamic traditions and values provide balance and peace to many of life's problems and often serve as an inspiration and reflection for the millions of individuals who look to the teachings of Islam for guidance. And whereas Ramadan, the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, is celebrated annually by millions of Muslims throughout the United States and over 1 billion Muslims across the world, and whereas Ramadan is celebrated by Muslims as a month of fasting, community service, and reflection, and whereas during the month of Ramadan, the Muslim community across North Carolina and across our great nation will collectively celebrate the revelation of the Quran and its teachings. And whereas, on behalf of the state of North Carolina, it is with immense pride and honor that I recognize the contributions of all Muslim Americans. Now therefore, I, Roy Cooper, Governor of the state of North Carolina, do hereby proclaim March 11th through April 9th, 2024 as Ramadan in North Carolina and commend its observance to all citizens. Signed, Governor Roy Cooper. And once again, a reminder, March 27th, please join for a community iftar. That now brings us to our consent agenda. And these are items that we mostly have discussed at our work session and have had thorough conversations about it. I know we have one item that is to be pulled for comment, 24-0076. Oh, so we'll pull that item for 3 comments. Are there any other items the board would like to pull? I'll then entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda excluding 24-0076.
So
Madam-
moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Carter, seconded by Vice Chair Burns. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Consent agenda excluding 24-0076 has been approved. And now would we like to then, okay, let's vote from consent. So we have 3 individuals signed up to speak. So on this item, if you guys want to come line up here next to our clerk, Monica Wallace. We have Pam Andrews, Tammy Sawyer and Tom Freeman. And this is 240076, authorize the county manager to execute an interlocal agreement with the City of Durham for the Southeast Durham Watershed Improvement Plan, including contribution of $910,895.51 towards its development. Just want to remind folks, you have 3 minutes for public comment, and just make sure that your public comments are related to this agenda item and you don't mention any attacks or specific call-outs to staff, especially.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tonight I wanted to share my concerns about the Southeast Durham Watershed Improvement Plan. There are numerous studies recently presented that have been in the works for years. The UNRBA has recently completed a study last year and came forward to present it to you all. Dr. Joanne Burkholder of NC State University and team completed a watershed development study released November of 2023. Conclusions on Falls Lake were that the headwaters were at the NC impaired waters list for nutrient and sediment pollution that has led to violations of chlorophyll A and turbidity water quality standards. Chlorophyll A is up 29%, with total phosphorus up 20%. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, along with the UNC Collaboratory, has published this really massive document titled Falls Lake Study, a final report to the NC General Assembly on December 2023, which was funded for $500,000 annually. Jordan Lake was studied first, and then from 2019 to 2023, Falls Lake was studied. It was noted that the continued research and partnerships on many of these topics that are detailed in the report will continue in the foreseeable future. As part of the collaboratory in 2022, Dr. Barbara Dahl of NC State University and team evaluated the potential nutrient inputs that could be arriving to Falls Lake from the streamback erosions. In a one-year period, NC State also measured flow, turbidity, and total suspended solids, total phosphorus, and at least 5 sub-watersheds. Out of the 111 assessed areas, an average of 45% of the banks were stable, with 30% having minor erosion and 25% of them, that's 1/4, were severely eroding. Ryan Emanuel, a Duke Associate Professor at the Nicholas School of Environment, also referred to a study by Dr. Katie Martin of NC State University on stream buffers. Dr. Martin's study stated, understanding the effects of riparian buffers on stream flow is crucial, given the pressing need to develop innovative strategies that promote conservation of invaluable ecosystem services. Are we going to learn from these studies? Are we going to listen to the experts? Why do these studies if we're not going to change the way we're doing things? The earth is bleeding. Our creeks look like blood. We have to stop the mass grading, clear cutting, and blasting while we find a way to repair the damage to the environment. We can't keep passing more land in Southeast Durham and expect the bleeding to stop. This disastrous behavior did not have to happen. We begged you not to pass the Kemp Road future growth area, but it did. We, the neighbors, are left to suffer along with the animals of the environment. Therefore, we're asking for a moratorium to be put in place immediately. Thank you.
Andrews. Tammy?
Tammy Sueya. Thank you for your time. I want to add to what Pam said and reiterate that this plan as it stands alone it's got some good bones, but we need a moratorium. We know we have a problem. This admits we have a problem. We've been saying there's been a problem for the last 2 years. To put it in perspective of where we are now, Rocky Mount's population is 54,000. We have been tracking all the developments in Southeast Durham. There will be an additional 37,000 people in Southeast Durham. So that's the kind of population that is being grown here. And yes, we have a watershed problem, and the river and the lakes are going red. So I'd like to ask and request that when I was looking at the scope of work, they talked about stakeholders. Preserve Road Durham has been invested in this. We don't get paid. We do it on our own time. I do it at night. And we deeply love Durham in this area, and we'd like to be part of the process. They talked about showing monthly reports. Let's have the monthly reports available to the public. let's be fully disclosed. If we go forward with this watershed improvement plan, fully disclose to the public of what is going on and what is being found. And then I'd like to also ask that, I'd like to ask how the RFP process went. Was this RFP put out for many companies to respond? Because I looked at Wildlands, and they did in 2015 Little Lick Creek Watershed Improvement Plan. So that was in 2015. As of 2022, Little Lick Creek has a grade D. So what did we get out of that improvement plan? What are we going to get out of this improvement plan? This is my tax dollars, $3 million to go for this. And then I want to add one other thing. We've been fighting. So last week I went down to City Council, still fought for another development on Olive Branch Road. It is right across from a current development that is under a federal Clean Water Act violation and being sued by the Southern Environmental Law Center. And it's still, you've got to stop what we're doing. It's not working. Thank you for your time.
For me, and last we have Tom Freeman.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas Freeman. I'm a lifelong resident of Durham County. I don't have a prepared statement tonight. I'll speak extemporaneously from my heart. My soul is a county resident, lived here all my life. I was with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, stationed at Falls Lake, did 33 years of service there. Falls Lake, I know Falls Lake. Had many opportunities to leave, go anywhere around the world. I wanted to stay in my community, make a difference, because this is home. A lot of people don't know what home is. They search their lives looking for a home. I have my home. It's here. Well, here we are. We're at the juncture of another expenditure for taxes, our stormwater fees. But it's like it frequently is. It's a little too late, We could paper the walls of this chamber with all of the studies that have been undertaken and concluded by the top scientists in the nation and in our state. How has it improved our life? I suggest zero. By the time this contract runs its course and the contractor provides its deliverables 2 years out, it won't make any difference, because the usable land, there will be no more rural lands in southeast Durham County to exploit. I'd call for an immediate halt in the high-density residential construction, pending the outcome and implementation of its findings. I see this that you're acting on tonight is nothing more than an act to placate those of us in the community that are dealing with this every single day. I go by Lick Creek, and it continues to get worse and worse. How could that possibly happen? It's so full of sediment now. It's so full of sediment from the upstream construction that the stream is belching over, and it's now leaving deposits of sediment on the high grounds. The creek is filling in Falls Lake, and no one is doing anything. Thank you very much.
We've had conversations and discussions about this at our work session meetings. I do have Miss Tammy and Pam's email addresses. I'll make sure that staff have that information so they can follow up with you as needed for any questions you have.
I do want to just add, this is really quick because I know we're going to do outreach on it. I know that everybody from staff is not here. Staff did do a decent job. I think some things that were elevated some of the sentiments that were elevated are not things that we can remedy here. Quite frankly, I think y'all know that. Some of it has to be remedied up the street. But that doesn't mean that we pass the buck. I think many times people say, well, what do we get for our stormwater? And to some people, it might seem performative or a bandage, but this is one of the things that you get is another continuous study. And you might be right that it could paper the walls in here, but unless we track it, we can't really say, what has or has not been done. So I do hear the sentiment. I just want to say to staff, do these outreach events. I, for one, would appreciate if this group of individuals was included, quite frankly, because it's one thing to always come down here. It's another thing to be in a position to go to. I know that it says 3. I'm not saying that we add a 4th. I'm saying that we make sure that we're having these events and these virtual sessions in the presence of the people who are most impacted. And I don't think that that's a hard ask. I don't think anybody up here would disagree with. So I do look forward to staff to make the attempt to do that. There was one more thing I did have, and I'm hopeful that this step is one that will help us where we can actually go out and get more federal grants so that we can do the work that, and that is another factor to us doing this additional study. So I'll stop there.
Commissioner Jacob?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Tom and Tammy and Pam for your comments and all of your ongoing work. And I agree. I actually I asked for comments on this item because this is an interlocal agreement between the city and the county. The city is taking the lead on this. So I think the question about the RFP process would be probably most relevant for the city. But I did request that there be a meeting where the plan can be discussed because there's a very detailed stage scope of work. But yes, I agree. Making sure that all of the studies that you mentioned should be included. Preserve Rural Durham should be included. And I think you have a very good suggestion, Tammy, about the reports having a public-facing way for this work to be shared with the. So I know Ryan is not here tonight, but we can make sure that that does get passed on to him. If you could, Madam Manager. And I do think we haven't done. The city and the county together have not done anything like this in this watershed. And I think to Commissioner Burns' point, our understanding is that we have to have a plan first in order to start qualifying for some of the federal funding that we could go after for mitigation. But on the other hand, and I raised this also during our discussion, I'm concerned and interested in how this can interface with the UDO rewrite. And how do we change our actual practices and how we're implementing prevention so we don't have this in the first place. So I will personally be looking very carefully at that, and that's a part.
Ryan is online. Monica, can we pull him up so he can speak?
Great.
Go ahead, Ryan.
And I have the emails will pass you with Pam and Tammy further.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a question for Ryan. So, the citizens and their concerns, were they at your meetings, that you included them in the conversation? Have-
Hey Ryan, can you
We
try
still can't-
adjusting your
we
microphone a
can't
little
hear
bit?
you. No, we can't understand what you're saying.
A little.
I guess I'm still perplexed that we are being asked to move forward with voting on something that citizens have been complaining about and for months, and there's no resolution for them, not even inclusion for them. So I'm just a little perplexed with that one.
If I can just clarify, so this is not asking you all to approve the plan and not engage the resident. This is asking you to approve us and moving forward contract that will allow us to engage the residents as the plan is developed. So there will be community engagement in this process.
As long as the citizens are involved in the process.
Yes.
Or a motion on
Move to approve this item.
Second.
into approval by Commissioner Carter for 24-006, by Commissioner Jacobs. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item 24-0076 is approved. That now moves us to the end of our public agenda. We do have a closed session item that the board is requested to adjourn into closed session to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public in two matters, one of which is the matters of the Wood v. Edmonds et al., which privilege is hereby acknowledged pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3. Thank you, everyone who joined us for the public portion of the meeting. Please take a cookie on your way out. I don't have to take any home. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for the reasons stated. Moved by Commissioner Cutter, second by Vice Chair Burns. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion to move into closed session passes unanimously.